So if you're wondering how I built what I just showed you there, that story about Lidar, you need to watch this talk. Well, an interesting opening video, I think you'll agree. I wanted to do a series of talks based around our new ebook. We've just released an ebook called Geospatial Growth Unleashed, your step-by-step guide to business success. This is really based around my 25 plus year career in geospatial, the things that I've learned in that career, where I've seen successes and failures in the geospatial business. And this is really kind of a blueprint, this document or this ebook, as to how organizations can walk their way through success. It's a free ebook and it's available. I've actually got a link to it above this video. So what's in the ebook? Well, there are a number of chapters. I walk through them really quickly. We've got the introduction and building blocks. What are those foundational pieces to build a successful geospatial business? Product market fit, the critical piece. You building a product from scratch, looking for ideas, design thinking. Is your product going to sell in the marketplace that you've chosen? Maybe you're moving from Europe and trying to sell into the US. Maybe you've got a product that you're trying to sell into a different vertical. We cover that in depth in that chapter. Strategy, go-to-market strategy. The plan, the execution, the thing that guides your execution. If you haven't got a solid strategy built on best principles, then your success is going to be more challenging. Sales and marketing is really the execution of that plan. And then we talk a little bit about integration, how there's a trend towards remote sensing and GIS coming together and how that can be successful. And then we finish out by measuring the success and then talk about roadmap. In this talk, I am going to cover sales and marketing. And in particular, we're going to be talking about the sales funnel. Okay, so with a focus on sales and marketing, let's talk about the sales funnel. There are variations on this. The diagram I've got here is really showing three parts to the sales funnel. The first part is awareness. The second part is consideration. And the third part is decision. And we're going to talk through each of these parts in these different talks. But today, I'm going to talk about awareness. And in particular, I'm going to talk about getting attention. And I'm going to show you particularly a use case where we at Gen AI marketers use generative AI to help us at the top of the funnel build attention. So let's jump in. Okay, so let's jump in and get a little bit more sophisticated on how we use generative AI at the top of the funnel. Now I'm going to show you how I built the video that started this talk today. So let's jump in. But before we do, I want to remind you what we're talking about when we talk about the sales funnel, in particular, this awareness stage. So I've just pulled up the ebook that, again, is downloadable. There's a link to it above this video. Let's talk about the awareness stage. I'm just going to read this directly to you. At this stage, your goal is to attract and educate your audience, not to sell. Key point to remember. Potential customers are becoming aware of their challenges and seeking information. High frequency, easy digestible content is crucial here to build visibility and establish your enterprise. So we're really not trying to sell here, like this stat just said. We're trying to get people's attention, to get them curious enough to want to dive a little bit deeper into your solution or product. So I often see when I go to LinkedIn and other top of the funnel type places, people selling a lot and people throwing up images like the one I've just shown you on the screen here, which basically show folks the how of what people do. In this case, it's terrestrial LiDAR, it's mobile mapping. So you've got a sensor on top of that truck. But that really doesn't make me very curious. That makes me just keep scrolling through. So I wanted to build a story, really a three-part story around this truck. And so that's what you saw at the very beginning. I wanted to show what it actually means, the why of this solution. So let's build out that story. I knew that I needed to show a customer, and I wanted to show a customer at the very beginning and at the very end. In other words, how they used to work and how they work today, thanks to this new technology. So I went to Leonardo, which is one of the popular image generators out there in generative AI land. And I put in a whole load of prompts, and you're looking at a whole bunch of images here, because I wanted to actually get a person, the same person, in a before and after state. And what you'll see is two images that are actually finally used in the video. And one of them is this one, this guy here, before, looking a little upset, frustrated. And then we've got the same guy just there who's sitting in his office, very comfortable looking at his computer. So those are the basic images that I wanted to use in this animation of the before and after. Again, the purpose of what we're doing here is to make this guy's life easier with technology. So that's the start of the journey. So this is RunwayML, which is a tool we can use to actually animate still images. So we can generate an image in Midjourney or in Leonardo, and then we can animate those images. I'm not going to animate this because you've already seen it at the very beginning, but let me show you the technique that you need to use in this tool to do that. So there's this idea of brushes. On the left side here, you'll see motion brush. And you've got multiple brushes that you can use, so you can animate different parts of the scene. What I did in this video was actually to animate the character. So I animated his head, I animated his body and his legs. And I actually made him, let's just get the rest of him. Boom, 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 boom. And I actually got him to move horizontally forward. So you can click here and you can actually animate from there, and he'll actually move forward from his truck. And you see him moving his mouth and things in the video. So that's the second stage. I did that with the two images we created of this guy to start and end our video. Okay, let's now talk about the middle section of the video where we bring the truck and the LiDAR together. So there are a group of tools that we can use within the world of video and beyond simply animating an image. This is one of them. This is 𝐀𝐭𝐭𝐞 AI. This is a free tool. Now you'll see in this bottom left-hand corner my prompt. So I went through a whole series of steps in creating this prompt with some help from other generative AI tools like Claude and ChatGPT. And we came up with a prompt which says, create a smooth animation of a car driving down a highway equipped with a LiDAR sensor mounted on top, blah, 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 blah. So we created this. I wanted to create this sense of what that truck can actually do and collect. And you'll see here, this is the animation it came up with, which is actually pretty good. I nearly used this animation. I quite like it. It shows cars moving along, and it shows a sort of a colorful scene. And you'll look in the top left-hand corner there. That's actually the image that I used for to generate this. So I gave it an image and gave it that prompt, and that's what it came up with. I actually really like that. So that's pretty cool. Again, I could easily have used that. So another tool I looked at, so I'll use multiple tools to see which one comes out best. This one is a very popular one. This is RunwayML, and this is image and text. So it's image and prompt. So I gave it, again, the same image. The prompt that you use has to be a lot shorter than I used before with 𝐀𝐭𝐭𝐞. So it's a sort of a dumbed down one. This is the video it came up with, which I don't particularly care for. This isn't what I want. But I only did one iteration here. So this was not multiple iterations, which again, I advise you to do multiple versions of these things before you get the right one. But this isn't really what I wanted. So I went to Luma, which I showed you yesterday. And Luma asks for a first frame image and a last frame image. So I used the truck with the LiDAR on the top in the first frame, and I used the LiDAR image as the last frame. And actually, you can see I've done a multiple runs against this. The one I actually used was this one. Let's see if it'll go through. So there's the truck. Let's see if it keeps going. It does something funky as it spins around. Let's see if you can do it. And then it jumps to there. So I've actually kind of edited that a little bit just to make it a bit smoother. But it generated a bunch of other ones. Here's another one, which was interesting, I thought. It goes underneath the vehicle. Let's see if I can get that to work. Come on. There we go. Actually, let me just click on it and I'll go through. So this one actually goes underneath the vehicle and then kind of seamlessly goes into that. I quite like that one. And I generated a third one as well, which was okay. But I think I like that. The one I just showed you previously is the one I like the most. I did a quick edit on that. So again, that's how I built this. I came up with a story. I want because we work with a lot of companies that are lidar companies and remote sensing companies, but I didn't want to just show an image of what a truck collects. I didn't just want to show the truck that is collecting. I wanted to kind of tell a story, and I think the story is maybe 20 seconds long, less than that, of the customer before the actual action of how and what is collected, and then the final outcome, which is the why of everything, is a happy customer. So that's how I built this one. Again, I've got a bit more sophisticated in this talk to show you multiple tools and how you actually start to build out those top of the funnel stories. But I hope that helps. So I hope you found that talk interesting and educational. That's the goal here. As I mentioned at the beginning of the talk, we've written an ebook, which I hope you download. There's a lot of good information in there. I'm really cherry picking from that ebook in these talks just to show you some of the techniques that we use as a company. Gen AI Marketers is our name. We're really trying to help companies grow in the geospatial space. So we're really tackling areas like strategy, like sales and marketing tactics, some of the integration pieces where we're seeing remote sensing and GIS come together, and how you can actually leverage generative AI and our expertise. You're seeing our expertise as geospatial folks in these talks to get your customers to know not only about who you are, but what it is that you do and why you do it. And at some point, hopefully, to turn those potential customers into real customers. And that's really the goal and why we call this a step-by-step guide. So if you like this, please feel free to follow me on LinkedIn or subscribe to our YouTube channel if that's where you're watching. We have a newsletter, which I'll provide a link to. And again, there's the ebook that I've already mentioned. So more of these to come. Thanks for being on this journey with us, and join us next time.